So despite the fact that you have 8 of the 11 locked in on Race for the Roster...
I'm saying none of them are locked.
There are actually... no, but there are still...
Next week, I'm going to release every one of them. None of them are getting locked.
This is Park the Bus with Stephen Caldwell, Kevin Kilban and Luke Wileman.
Welcome along to another edition of Park the Bus. And where is Kevin Kilban?
Well, he's not hungover this time. We have to say that right away.
Well, we don't know, really.
Well, he might be, actually. But he claims he's got the man flu. Which is a little embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of sickness. He should still be here, no?
Absolutely, 100%.
Bit soft. I never expected that for Kevin, Luke.
No, I thought that he would be a team player. I thought that he would...
Soldier on,
He would soldier on, come in. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I wouldn't imagine you've ever had a day off sick in your life.
No. I was actually sick filming my last show, and I still got on with it. You still got to do it.
Yeah.
Get on with it.
Yeah.
Roll the sleeves up. I used to play sick. Yeah. This guy can't even come in and sit and talk for an hour.
So it's just Luke Wileman alongside Stephen Caldwell with an empty space where Kevin would have been. But I suppose there will be a lot less people upset this week by something that's been said because it's a lot less likelihood that either myself or you...
Well, there's no chance that you're going to say anything controversial and upsetting.
Not if I can help it.
I might just lead myself into something like that, but hopefully we can behave and we can leave the controversy to Kevin Kilban when he's back.
See, I always get into trouble at home because if the kids are sick, I'm just get on with it. Go to school. What do you mean? There's a toilet at school. Like, you don't need to stay home. Anyway.
Ruthless.
To be fair, there are days when I probably shouldn't have worked. I remember one specifically back in England when I was at Huddersfield Town calling a game. I was doing the game for Radio 5. And I'll still apologise to this day to a guy called Peter Barlow, who's a lovely man who was sitting next to me in the broadcast area. Wasn't a big space. You crammed in, and you know, you've got your little desk in front of you with the equipment on your notes, and then the next person who's working for, I think he was working for Talk Sport, was the seat next to me, right? And I was feeling off it all day long, and got to about 20 minutes for the game to fit. The end of the game, and I do my stuff, do my report, and then I just think I can't. There's no way out. There's no way out. There are people here
wedged in the middle.
Yeah. Anyway, a few seconds later, it's all down Peter Barlow's leg, having thrown up straight all over him. So,
oh my God!
And then it's awkward because he has to finish the game. I have to finish the game.
Yeah, you can't actually do anything about it.
There's still no way. I felt much better, by the way, after that. But he's got it all the way down his pants.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
What did you say to him at the end of the game? It must have been awkward.
Yeah, it was. It was really awkward.
Was he angry? Or
no, he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And then the day that TFC... By the way, that was the day before, and I remember it was the day before Leeds went down at Bolton.
OK, played that game.
You played in that game?
I did, unfortunately.
The other one, I don't know if you played, 2015, were you with TFC when they played in Montreal in the playoffs?
No, I was retired by then, but I was at that game.
Because I was doing the game with Jason DeBoss, and he had a garbage can beside him.
He was unwell.
He was prepared.
Right.
He was prepared, right? And at least on TV is a bit more space.
Yeah.
So he's got in the broadcast booth, he's got the garbage can behind him as he went through the game. But, yeah, I should probably have offered to wash Peter Barlow's jeans.
Yeah, you should give him at least 20 quid for a dry cleaning bill or something.
Anyway, so maybe it's a good thing that Kev is not here.
I used to always play sick, Luke, and you're on a tightrope because you don't know how sick you really are. You feel terrible. But you want to be out there. You don't want to let the team down, and you get away with it very often.
Sick or hungover, are they the same thing?
No, never hungover before a game. I know we get a lot of hangover stories, but never before a football match, ever, I promise you. But this one time we were at Hull with Birmingham. It's actually my last game for Birmingham, and I felt terrible, but I was like, I'll get through it. You know, you're taking the tablets, and you're trying to just take as much fluid as you can. And I got out there, and I'm like, no, I'm really bad. And I had a nightmare for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think they lost 2 goals in 15 minutes. Basically, both of them my fault. And then I had to put the arm up and say, I can't keep going here. I've got to come off. Lee Clark was the manager, fuming with me, I'm sure. Yeah. He was quite OK, but I could tell. I'd let the team down.
So really, you should never have played.
Never have played.
So you're saying, Kev was doing the right thing. You're actually getting round to the fact that he should not have played today.
Well,
he should not be here.
I don't know. There's another 10 stories where I did play and I got through it and I got on with it. And it depends how bad you are. And I've got a feeling he just wanted a day on the couch. just to watch movies or something like that.
Oh, he's feeding his chickens.
The
chickens
no
don't
way he's
live
going
on their
outside
own.
in this weather.
No, it's a bit cold.
Unwell.
It is a bit cold.
Big mistake I made that day, Luke. It was my last game for Birmingham as well. I regret it a lot, and I cost my team 3 points, which is even worse.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't realise until you get out there. There's that mentality of that you can do it.
Get through it, I know.
Like skiing with an ACL injury, like
that was
Lindsay Vonn at the Olympics.
You know, I have to say the speed that the athletes go down the slopes at, to try it, to even attempt it without an ACL is remarkable. The bravery, 41 years old as well, and unfortunately, she kind of clipped that inside pole and spun, and now she's broke her leg. And how tough are these women? How tough are these athletes? It's incredible. We wish her well. We hope she's back, she's safe. I don't know if she's going to ski again, but I'm sure we're going to see her on our screens sometime very soon.
Well, so that's a good start. We've got through vomiting, we've got through skiing. I mean, we do know you're a skier now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Last week that
I
you
can
are now
empathise with Lindsay because I know what it's like
to
go down the slopes at that kind of speed. I was a little bit more padded than her, but I was probably going similar speeds.
You were going down at that speed?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I came off my skis a couple of times.
Yeah, good one. So anyway, get well soon, Kev, and the rest of the family, and you know,
Vaughn.
Let's hope that he's back here next week. Right?
Yeah,
let's hope that he can fight through it.
We need a third, don't we? It's always better when Kev's here.
But
we can gang up on each other.
We'll try our best. Might be a bit shorter. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did. Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Game.
Maybe that's why he was.
The Super Bowl party.
Maybe.
He's not a big Super Bowl guy, though, is he? I am. I love the Super Bowl. It's particularly the Super Bowl. I really like NFL, but Super Bowl was the extravaganza of the event is amazing. The game was poor this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You watch any of it?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I watched it. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
you really watched it.
We're a Seahawks family.
Oh, so you are.
Yeah,
you're Seattle.
In fact, Hudson's brand new Seahawks jersey arrived this morning. That was supposed to arrive last week, and apparently they just got too many Seahawks fans wanting jerseys.
That's cool. Well, the best team won.
It wasn't a great game.
The best team won.
Yeah.
Seahawks were amazing.
Well, let's get back onto some kind of normal football
everyone's
topic.
Switched off. We've talked about everything else.
One of the big things that happened in the Premier League over the weekend was that Man City-Liverpool game.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk about whether or not it would have been title over for Manchester City if they'd lost that game. They didn't. They came back. The pressure's now on Arsenal. These teams are going to meet in a number of different competitions over the course of the next few weeks as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes down the road. It was an incredible comeback from Manchester City.
Yeah.
Great finish to the game. But one of the biggest talking points coming out of it is VAR once again, and what happened with the disallowed third City goal and the sending off of Slobozai.
Yeah.
Slobozai.
It wasn't Kevin. It wasn't Kevin.
Slobozai. Anyway, so he's sent off for the foul on Haaland. That would have been through on goal. Haaland keeps his feet. They get through. Haaland then fouls Slobozai as he scores the goal.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen anybody from within the game, apart from officials, who are saying that it was right for VAR to go back, give the free kick, send off the Liverpool man, and disallow the goal. Everyone's saying, well, think about the moment. Think about that being the third goal, and it doesn't matter for both sides. It's like a great moment at the end of the game, and it was a foul.
Yeah, it was.
It was a foul. Take away the red card. Haaland fouled Slobozai for the goal.
Yeah.
So how can it stand?
It can't stand. It can't. And I was really shocked that people were so adamant. I couldn't believe it. You know, they're spoiling the game. And, like, did it affect the moment? Absolutely. Was it the right call? Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And, yeah, I mean, it is disappointing in terms of the spectacle and the excitement around what was happening at Anfield at that time. But the laws of the game are the laws of the game. And now when we've added in some technology, it's even worse. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's to try and make sure that there's some kind of honesty and integrity through every single decision that happens within a season. And so a man being sent off and an extra goal going on or off could be vital.
Yeah,
at
it doesn't
the end
impact
of the
that game.
That's it.
It might impact the next game that either Liverpool play because they're a man down.
One of their best players.
Or if it comes to goal difference.
Yeah. So I was so surprised that there was so much talk about this because It was an absolute blatant foul and red card by Szoboszlai. I think they would like to have left that and allow it to be played on, but because Cherki's shot in towards the goal was moving so slow, because of that foul, Szoboszlai was going to clear it. Haaland then had to take him out. So you got to go back and you got to make the right decision. I thought the right decision was made. I was amazed that even the managers were so adamant about allowing it to go. I think I can only say in the excitement of the game and what was going on that they were just getting caught up in the emotion, that when they kind of think about it today, they'll realise that it was the right call, especially from the officials, because of the fact that one goal could be so important at the end of the season and it could affect Arsenal or anybody else's title hopes, future Champions League places. Who knows?
If there's no VAR, do you think that goal stands?
Yeah.
Because the referee should still...
Yeah.
Like,
he should still have made the decision.
It's still a foul by Haaland.
Yeah.
And it was a clear foul. 2
clear fouls. So, clear red card foul, like, no question. And then clear foul right on the, within the 6-yard box by Haaland on Szoboszlai. So...
What I'm saying is if there's no VAR and that goal goes in, the referee really shouldn't... People are saying, well, it cancelled. They both cancelled each other out.
That's not how it works, is it?
The referee should still, as an official, be ruling out that goal because Haaland committed the foul and then pulling it back because the advantage didn't work out.
Yeah, he should be.
At which point, it's a free kick and you send the guy off.
Absolutely, but I would have less of a problem with that if there was no VAR. Not to say it's the right decision.
It's still an egregious foul.
It is an egregious foul.
That's the only reason the goal's scored, because of the foul.
I could also understand why the referee might have made that mistake in that moment if there was no VAR and sort of seeing that first foul and just getting caught up in the goal and then allowing it to go, which is kind of what happened, actually, because he kind of lost his composure. But then what VAR's for is to help the officials that are under immense pressure and scrutiny on the field to get to the right decisions. And it did its job. It did its job again. Got to the right decision.
But then no one was happy.
Well, everyone was mad. Everyone was arguing.
Both sides.
Szoboszlai was fuming. None of the City players were too happy that they took away the sort of icing on the cake. But I think it was the right call. And a lot of people will probably have a go at us for this and say we're killjoys and the spirit of the game.
You are a little bit. Like when you say that, you've got to stick to the rules in MLS and all that kind of stuff.
I am a little bit. I mean, rules are there for a reason. And VAR's, I think, improved the game in a lot of ways, but it has taken away some of the romanticism and the spontaneity of football. And that's what people hate. People want the game to stay where it was 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. But everything, sport, life, has to evolve. It has to move forward. And so I think VAR has been a good addition. And this was another example of that, even though it took away a bit of the excitement in the stadium.
See, the ones that are wrong are when it's 6 minutes to work out if it was an offside or something like that. I don't know if I'm a little bit more lenient with my, with VAR, because I think it's worked quite well in MLS. I don't think there are that many times when we're calling a game or a goal and the first thing you think is about, is it going to stand? It's just a case of if there's something blatant. I think MLS has got a much better handle on clear and obvious, rather than the Premier League, which seems to be looking for things.
I think, I agree with you. Maybe in some ways. In other ways, I think the Premier League have better officials, whether they're on the pitch, obviously as referees or assistant referees or VAR officials. I think they're a higher standard. There's some teams I've seen, and I think of that. Remember that penalty at BC Place near the end of the season when Muller scored it? It was just like, it was madness. And they sent the ref to the screen and whatever. I can't quite remember the details, but it was like just confusion because there was an error and then another error and then it was sort of compounding on each other. I think in the Premier League at times there's less errors, but then they do get involved in stuff they shouldn't. But I've seen a higher threshold in recent times with the Premier League trying not to get involved. There was a couple of incidents this weekend that I thought could have been penalties or not, and you think, VR's going to come in, and I might think they might have in MLS, but they stayed away from it because they're really trying to stay away from
That's what they should do. And by the way, Howard Webb, who was in MLS and helped establish this, is now working in England. And I think that's what it has to be for.
Friend of the show, we've got to get Howard on here,
should.
actually.
Yeah,
he is a great guy. We talk every week about people we need to get on, but I'm going to send Howard a text when we're off this and see if we'll get him on in a week or two.
He's probably too big for us now.
Nah, he'll come on. He's a great guy. I keep in touch with Howard.
Yeah?
Brilliant fella.
What was it, World Cup 2018 he was with?
Yeah,
For the was it the final of the World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a man, eh?
Yeah, he was great. He was great. And hopefully, when it comes to the World Cup this summer, I mean, I don't look back on Qatar. There's probably something I'm missing.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about VAR that much, did we?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Like at the very highest level, when you're talking about game-changing decisions, I don't...
But it's the quality of the staff, isn't it? Like, there's the best refs in the world, the best assistant referees in the world. They don't get a lot of things wrong. And then the person in the booth or in the suite or whatever where VAR is getting done is also excellent at their job. So I think there's less that happens.
Do you agree with the VAR for second yellows and corners? So adding more things that it could...
No, I don't. Well, we don't want to keep stopping the game. It's one of the biggest issues, that the flow of the game. So if
but a corner, you know whether it's gone out, like if the wrong decision's made by the time the guy gets over to take the corner, surely.
You just change it. Yeah, but it's just really affecting the flow of the game. You know, I think... Then where do we go after that? Do we start going into the middle of the park and refouling things or refereeing retrospectively on a foul or something like that? I just think we'll end up having all these pauses in the match that we've got to draw the line somewhere, and I think we've got it at the sweet spot at the minute for sure.
Do you watch anything else over the weekend?
Any
other games?
Oh, yeah. I watched plenty of games this weekend.
We don't need to talk about, Exeter City or...
Yeah, I never watched Exeter this weekend. I was out and about watching my lad Robbie play at that time. But I saw Bournemouth. I saw Ryan, the young Brazilian, who I saw...
You were on him, weren't you?
I was right on him.
Hey,
I mean, listen...
Agent Caldwell.
He's 35 million. He's playing in the Premier League.
Everyone's on him.
I hardly unearthed him, but he's an outstanding talent, Luke. He's got an assist and a goal in his first 2 games. This was his first start.
Brazilian.
Great goal, Brazilian, 19 years old.
Is he going to be at the World Cup?
He's got a chance. I mean, you think about...
Already?
The competition he's against is high.
Yeah.
He really has
I think that's one way of putting it.
Yeah. He's got to... he's playing wider in the Premier League.
He's not trying to get in the Curaçao
No,
team.
exactly.
He's trying to...
He's playing wider for Bournemouth. When I saw him, he was playing 9. I think he probably has a better chance of making it as a 9 in the Brazilian squad than as a wide player when you think about Rafinha and Rodrigo and Vinicius Junior, and there's like so many wide players.
Surely there's no way he's getting in at this point. It's just, maybe it's a year too soon.
What if he keeps scoring in the Premier League? What if he keeps banging in the goal? I mean, it's unlikely because he is raw. He's still raw. It's not like he has these complete games, but he's doing spectacular things. If he keeps that up and he makes it into the March friendlies, which would be a good time for Carlo Ancelotti to take a look at him, what if he then goes and scores a couple of goals in a game? It's been known that young Brazilians burst into the squad. Are you
getting a cup?
Of him being in the Brazil squad? Not a chance, but I'll be his biggest fan at the World Cup, I know that. I watched him, he did great. Defending for his goal was abysmal. Lucas Digne, you got to watch that. That is awful. What else I see? A bit of Brighton, bit of Palace. Adam Wharton, pretty special. I watched a bit of Coney, which we should chat about. Did quite well against Inter Milan, but Inter Milan are pouring now in Serie A. They won 5-0.
So you locked Coney in last week, right? And we're talking about his good form.
Yeah.
In a big game like that, what worked for him, what didn't work for him?
He did his job, and again, I never watched 90 minutes of the game, but I watched a good chunk of the first half. He did his job. He did well. He was on the ball. He was composed. He kept the ball. Did he dominate the game? No, absolutely not. Is that too much to expect? I think
probably.
So. Playing against Inter Milan for Sassuolo, who weren't quite up to it.
Would you not
on
say
the
the
day.
same thing about, is it too much to ask Canada against Italy to do that?
If he can dominate the game. Maybe.
We're talking about Sassuolo against Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about
the
world's
agree.
biggest stage.
I think that's what we have to try and tell the listeners and the viewers here. Like, the levels that we're talking about these Canadians performing at are so high that it's unrealistic to expect Canada to go out and play Switzerland and bowl them over, or potentially play Italy and dominate the game. It's just like they're playing against guys that have been there, done it every single week in the top leagues in the world for 5, 10, 15 years, some of them. You know, it's such a high level. So Sassuolo were dominated by just a superb Inter Milan team. The Italian left-back DiMarco, who some are saying is the most valuable player in Serie A this season, and especially if Inter Milan go on and win the title, was outstanding, set up the second goal with a ball across the front. So, yeah, there's players in these leagues, these top 5 leagues, that are just better than you can even imagine. And I think that needs to be recognised when we start throwing things out there. They'll beat these guys, or they would make it the best team out of these two.
Yeah, I mean,
our mate does it all the time, doesn't he? He
Yeah.
starts this conversation. And Coney, at his best, is outstanding. But before we start putting him in, you know, and
Italy, Canada combined 11. There's no chance.
He's got a bit to go, but he's getting better, and he's doing his job, and he's showing the consistency that we always asked, and he's showing the maturity that we hoped for. So I think really exciting, promising signs.
A week ago, it was the day the transfer window closed, and we were talking about Cyle Larin with a desperation move to Southampton. Not desperation to go there, but this is desperate times for Cyle Larin in terms of he's got to hit the ground running if he's going to make the World Cup. You said it might take him a few weeks to get settled. It took him about 3 minutes. What a header for him to score. Apparently his first touch with Southampton, heads it in bullet header.
Yeah.
And that, having come off the bench, that was the perfect start for him. And you really hope that is just the spark that gets him going, don't you? Because if he does, he could still start the first game of the World Cup.
He really could, and that's why I kept him in for so long.
And then you took him out.
I did take him out because his form got so poor that we had to do it, you know, especially when others were performing. But if he gets up to his best, I still think he's the best partner for Jonathan David. I've been consistent in saying that. I just don't know if he's capable of getting to his best. But this goal has gave him a platform to build on. Like, it's a goal from a corner. It's a Larin-type goal. He wrestles a guy off, and great header and bullet header.
It's also giving him a bit of time.
That's it.
It's given him time with the Southampton fans who now love, you know, talking about Cyle Larin's shawarma commercial from about 2 or 3 years. Like it's almost as if
he's becoming a cult figure, cult hero already. And he needed that because there was a lot of questions why he was signing this guy, looking at his recent form. So he needed that start. I mean,
it's one goal.
I'd like to have seen him score a striker's goal more. Not to say it wasn't a great goal, but from a corner, it's like, well, we never really saw kind of his attributes. But I think, as I said last week, he's going to take time to be up to full speed before he starts in matches and before he has the fitness and the sharpness to be at his absolute best. But this is a good confidence-building start.
It's interesting, over the course of a week, you go from Cyle Larin maybe not making the World Cup squad to Cyle Larin potentially starting the first game. He's that kind of a player right now who, depending what happens over the course of the next few months, I think he'll be in the World Cup squad anyway. I don't think... I think he's got enough in the bank with Jesse Marsch. He's already played in a World Cup. I think that Cyle Larin is the kind of player that Jesse will want around, even if he's not starting. If he's just coming off the bench, something different to the other strikers that he's got. But there is that day. He's a player right now who could be out altogether or could start the first game.
Start the game.
There's nobody else like that, really.
Not really. And I would say a large part of that is because of his experience and his history with the national team and the fact that he has played at a very high level over the course of his career. Champions League football, winning Turkish leagues, and, you know, being really a player who has La Liga. We could go on and on about where he's played. Was Canada's top goal scorer for a period of time, and as we know, him and Jonathan David have been kind of neck and neck for a while. So he's a guy that Canada need. They need him at his best. I think he's someone who, when he's at full fitness, can be so effective. He's a good-sized lad. He can hold the ball up. He can bring others into play. He's got a lovely touch for a big guy as well. So I'm really hoping that he does well. I think Kyle's had a tough little period here. The last point I'll make is he is a streaky striker. So it will go in little patches where he scores goals consistently. And this opening goal, this goal after 3 minutes off the bench, needs to be the catalyst for that kind of run for him. He's got to get, I don't know, 7 to 10 goals in sort of 12 to 16 games where he's consistently performing and scoring at a very high level in the English Championship. And everyone will sit up and notice, especially Jesse Marsh.
So, producer Greg, because Kev isn't here this week, said, you guys are probably going to struggle for things to talk about.
No, we always find something
anyway, so he gave us these three... It's something to do with Super Bowl and betting and, I don't know, over-under or something like that.
I don't know any of that stuff.
I'm not a gambling guy.
I don't know that stuff.
So I don't really know. But he's given us these three predictions.
Right.
So, and by the way, when we did this with Thomas Muller, you got it completely wrong.
All right.
You were well off, weren't you?
I was a little off.
Didn't you? You were under.
I think I said 4 goals or something.
The first time it was how many goals is Thomas Muller going to score? Didn't you say like 3 or something?
I should have excluded penalties because he scored about 14 penalties. And like 3 goals, like I said, actually.
OK, the only reason I bring this up now, because the first one, or one of them, is about Cyle Larin. So Cyle Larin will score more than 5 goals for Southampton between now and the end of the season.
Yes.
Yes, you'll take that. Cyle Larin will score more than 5 goals.
More than 5 goals.
He's already got 1.
Yeah, I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling about him now. I think it was such an important start to get that goal.
Maybe 14 games left, 15 games, maybe.
I think 15 games. I'll make a prediction he'll get
you're saying
8 goals.
He's going to score in half of his games between now and the end of the season? Nah.
No?
Would you have said that a week ago?
Probably not.
No, so just because he scored 1 header, now he's going to score 8?
Because strikers are strange guys, right? They're strange people. They're all about confidence.
And defenders are the most normal.
Well, we're the best, but strikers are strange people. They're great, they're selfish, and they're focused, and they're the most important player in a team because they're the ones that win you games, really.
Okay.
And so when the confidence is high and things are moving in the right direction, they think they're going to score every week. And so I think that start, now it's only 1 goal, but I think that start has set him up. He's going to have the crowd in his back, whether he starts the next game and he's on the bench. If it's, they're going to be calling for him at the hour mark, he's going to come on. He has this momentum, even though it's just a little bit of momentum at the moment, that I think is going to propel him to 8 goals.
OK.
There
are 15 championship games left. So he's already got 1 in his first. So that's 16 games total, and you're saying he's going to score in half of them. So
I'm saying he's going to score in half of them.
16 games.
I'm going to tell you, if he scores 8 goals in 16 games,
he starts
every chance he starts the first game.
Of course he does.
Not of course. Why, of course?
Of course he starts. If he scores, if he scores 8 goals in 16 games to finish the season, he is starting alongside Jonathan David.
Not 100%.
100%.
Jesse Marsh is going to pick a profile of player that he feels is best for that first game. We don't know who the opponent in that first game is. We keep saying Italy, but we really don't know. And so I think it will be determined by the opponent and obviously the form of the strikers, but most importantly, the profile of the type of striker that he wants to be playing alongside Jonathan David in that game. And I think at the moment, assuming it's Italy and assuming Oliver Shea stays fit and that he gets a few goals himself, he's in absolute prime position still, even if Larin scores 8 goals in 16. OK.
So Cyle Larin will score, I'm going to go, it won't be 8. There's no way it's 8. I'll go for 5.
5?
So this is, will he score more than 5? I don't think he will.
You're right on the
but I think he'll get 5. I think 1 every 3 games, right, is a...
It's possible.
For the championship, how many... Like, you're looking at that, 8 over the course of a season, that's 20-plus goals. There aren't that many strikers in the league
I've
get 20-plus goals.
I've already told you he's a streaky scoring striker. Yeah. I'm not saying he would get 20 over the course of the season. I'm saying he has these patches where he scores goals. And I think, and I hope, and maybe it's my heart speaking and not my head, but I think that initial goal has set him up nicely to go in that run.
OK. We'll wind back to that a little
slag me on that one.
In the year.
Yeah,
I hope so. I think 5...
I hope
Five's
so.
about right.
You hope the guy does this get 8 goals? Is that what you're saying?
No,
or
I
you just
hope
hope
that
you
I
can
have
slag
a go at you.
me?
Yeah.
Right.
But just do this one first before we get to the other, Stephen Eustaquio, because we'll talk more about him. But Ali Ahmed will get to 10 goal contributions for Norwich this season. What's he got right now? 2 goals,
4.
2 goals, 2 assists?
Yeah.
Ali Ahmed will get to 10.
Assuming 15, 16 games as well,
same,
probably, right? No.
No, I agree.
No, I don't think he will. And I'm totally contradicting myself because I'm saying one guy will go on a streak and And Ali started his streak. He's done so well at the beginning. But I think the stage that Ali's at in his career and the type of player that he is, there's been a little bit of a shock factor. He's done so well. I'm so proud of how well he's done. But I think teams will work him out a bit more, and you'll find it a bit tougher to get the space that he's been given so far. And so he'll probably dry up a little bit, and he'll need to kind of go again and reinvent himself and bring other parts to his game. So I think it'll be a below 10, but hopefully just below 10.
I don't think he's had anything in the last 2 games, goal contributions. I think he got 4 in the first 3.
Yeah.
So we're both saying there that Ali Ahmed will not get to 10 goal contributions for Norwich this season. Whether he does or not, it's very difficult to see a way right now that he's starting in the World Cup unless somebody gets hurt.
Somebody gets hurt, or I would say he literally blows it out of the water. He's got like 15, 16 goal contributions where it's like Jesse Mars is saying, I might have to play this guy.
He's still not starting ahead of Alphonso Davies.
He might start ahead of Richie Larin.
And push Alphonso Davies back?
Yeah. If he's playing that well. And who knows how Richie Larin is going to start.
I thought Richie Larin was undroppable.
Well, he is if he's fit and he's playing at the form
well,
that he's
been in.
Well,
that's the other thing, right? For Richie Larin,
he's not played a game for...
February through to the last 2 years, I think. February through to sort of April, May time, he's had injury problems.
Hamstring injuries.
So that's something that he'll be hoping doesn't come back this year. The final one of the 3 predictions that we've got. So there's a huge Canadian influence now at LAFC.
Yeah.
Stephen Eustaquio, we talked last week about the fact he was leaving Porto to come to MLS. You mentioned that it looked like it was going to be LAFC. It is LAFC. I think it's a great move for him. I have no issues with this move for Stephen Eustaquio. And yes, there are maybe leagues with better reputations around the world that he could have gone to. But we know that Canada needs Stephen Eustaquio. We know that Stephen Eustaquio can perform at the very highest level. What he needs is to be guaranteed to play minutes. And with LAFC, he's going to probably play every minute that he can or wants to between now and the World Cup.
Yeah.
For a coach that Marc Dos Santos obviously is a Canadian and knows what both sides of it.
Yeah.
There's other Canadians there as well, with Schwanier, with Jacob Schaffelberg having joined LAFC as well now. For a club that you would expect to be challenging in multiple competitions, in finals, at the very top of the league. So the question is, prediction, Eustachio will lead LAFC to win MLS Cup. Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think LAFC will win MLS Cup. I think they'll agree with what you said. They'll be in the hunt. They'll be in the discussion and probably in the playoffs reasonably deep. But I just don't think that they'll go all the way.
The other thing is, will he be there to lead them to MLS Cup? Because it's a loan until June.
Yeah.
Possibility of him staying after that.
Yeah.
But there's also the possibility of Stephen Eustaquio having a great World Cup and ending up somewhere back in Europe.
So I'll tell you what I think on the whole thing. Yes, I don't know the details of the loan in terms of, like, I know there's an option for LAFC. I don't know if there's an option for Eustachio to decline the offer and go back to Europe. I think what happened was that and this is just completely my opinion, there's no sources behind this, that he wanted to go somewhere in Europe. He needed guaranteed football.
Couldn't get it.
Nobody could provide that for him. Nobody could say, you will absolutely come in here and sort of day one you'll play 70 minutes plus every single game. And he needed that. It's so important for his career that he is flying into this World Cup, that he could only go to MLS and one of the best teams in MLS to guarantee the minutes that he needs.
A Canadian coach who speaks Portuguese as well?
Yeah, of course.
It's a comfortable... For me, it's a safe bet.
If I'm coming to MLS, LAFC is top 3 on my list, 100%. It is a great place to play football
and live
in Major League Soccer. Great place to live. It's a great club. It's got good people for the top all the way down and through, and it's structured and established and one of the leaders. So I commend his decision to go there. There's no doubt he's going to be one of the top central midfielders in MLS until June, if that's all that it is.
He might not have come, but I cannot believe Toronto FC did not throw everything at getting Stephen Eustaquio to lead their midfield.
I heard that they sort of declined. They didn't want him. They didn't feel like It was needed. It could have been a salary issue. It might have been they feel like they've got the pieces that they want in their midfield, but he was offered to most places in MLS, and TFC didn't want to take them up. I'm really surprised at that one. Really surprised.
But even if they didn't, he chooses LAFC. That shows you where they're at in terms of being viewed at LAFC is a better place to go than coming to Toronto in a World Cup.
Well, I think if we looked at TFC and there was Zimmerman, Eustachio, Jordan Mihailovic, and I know he's still not here yet either, but Josh Sargent will be saying, wow, TFC have the spine and the nucleus to go and do something significant this season. So I think midfield's going to be a big issue for TFC. I don't think they have the quality and the strength and depth to be amongst the best in MLS with the midfielders that they have on the roster at the minute. They might have eyes on another guy or whatever it may be, and it might be dependent on the Sargent deal and what that costs. But ultimately, saying no to Stephen Eustaquio was if that happened, 100%, was a surprise for me, because I do think he would improve TFC. But I think him going to LAFC is probably better for Canada, probably better for Steph himself, and will allow him to get the minutes, to get up to speed. I hope MLS...
Is he one of the top players in the league?
Yeah.
In midfield, in his position?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I really think so. I think it's a great addition to MLS. And well done LAFC for bringing him in. If they can keep him, even greater for them. But I do think that he'll try and keep his options open after the summer, after his performances with Canada, to probably in his mind hopefully come back to Europe.
And just to wrap that up, I don't think LAFC will win MLS Cup either.
Do you think he'll win it?
Well...
You say Miami?
Yeah.
You have to, really.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Miami as well.
I think the West might be a bit more competitive at the top as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But you talk about Stephen Eustaquio there. MLS teams in Canada could have signed a lot more Canadians this winter than they have. Dane Sinclair went to Miami, Crépeau went to Orlando, Eustachio to LAFC, Schaffelberg to LAFC, Cyle Larin, there was some talk about him. He went to Southampton, of course. Ali Ahmed left and went to Norwich. Mm-hmm. Are those missed opportunities, or is it not really, like maybe they tried and couldn't get them? Like, does it matter in a World Cup year? Should the Canadian teams have been trying to build their seasons around Canadian players who are going to, or should it have had more weight, Canadian players who are going to be representing the country in the World Cup this year? I mean, we've seen as well now, Jaquil Marshall-Rutty leaving Montreal to go to the Red Bulls. Are Canadian players sometimes valued more outside of Canada?
Yeah, it appears like it, doesn't it? It appears like there's a price on these young men now as well that's pretty hefty. Yeah. It's not easy to get these guys. You know, I'm thinking, like, where could they have went? Like, Schaffelberg would never have went back to TFC. I think that's admitting their error, and they had to pay through their nose to bring him back, and so that was never going to happen. Montreal, quite frankly, probably couldn't afford them. Vancouver are building something different.
He's better in LA.
Right.
That's the other thing, right? These players are probably thinking they're better off not coming to the Canadian team.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's when I look down the list, I don't know if any of them are actually fits for any of the three Canadian teams at this time. You know,
Toronto could have had a goalkeeper in a different scenario. They've decided to go with what
they've got.
Probably the biggest
surprise, isn't it? It's Crépeau, like, because you'd think TFC might have been keen on Crépeau. They probably Sinclair. I'm not so shocked with that one, but I think Crépeau would have gave good competition with Gavran and would have created a real 1A, 1B type scenario that might have worked for TFC.
But also they would say they're investing in a Canadian in Gavran. Who was called up last year to help Jesse Marsh out.
And they wanted to build his confidence.
Build his confidence and try and get him to be the number one.
They wanted it to be clear to him that you're our guy. And if they go and bring Crépeau, there's no clarity there, is there? It's sort of like...
Well, Crépeau has to play.
Yeah, Crépeau has to play. And maybe there was interest in Crépeau. Didn't want to take that chance and be in a fight. He needed a manager that was going to say, you are playing every single week. You're going to get the minutes that might get you at that number one spot on June 12th.
Players did move that needed to. Did Nico Segura need to move? He didn't in the end. He was linked with Celtic at one point. I think that was still part of the Wilfred Nancy
debacle.
That's debacle, I suppose. Yeah, so he stayed at Hajduk Split.
Yeah.
Did he need to go somewhere, or does it not really matter? I mean, he's not getting in the team anyway if everybody's fit.
Yeah.
And if Alistair Johnston isn't fit, it doesn't matter where Nico Segura plays. He's playing. He's playing.
Yeah.
So I don't think the fact that he stayed makes any difference to Jesse Marsh's thinking and what he's going to do for Canada.
Yeah, I'm probably a bit different for Kev on this one, where I feel like while the World Cup is so important and it's a dream that I missed out on, and a home one, I can't even imagine what that feels like. So it's vital, but your career's still your career. Like you got to think about where you want to be over the course of 15 to 20 years if you're lucky enough to have that longevity. And so you don't want to make these rash decisions just for like one summer that might be out of your hands anyway.
Yeah.
In terms of your point, he's probably not playing if Alistair's fit and at 100% of what he's capable of doing. So you imagine he just takes that move just to get somewhere a little bit better, when by waiting and maybe looking at what his options are in the summer, there's better clubs out there and he's got more choice when it comes to picking that club.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably the case where there was interest from supposedly Wolves and Celtic and a couple of La Liga teams, but it never really materialised into that real solid move that he needed. So he decided he'll take his chances and he'll go towards the summer and he'll stay where he is, where he's doing wonderfully well. So I don't think he missed a great opportunity there. I think that he'll have more opportunities in the summer. I think he will play minutes for Canada in the summer.
Yeah.
And you're not starting a World Cup game, you're absolutely gutted. If you come on in the 65th minute or 60th minute and you influence that game and you help your nation win a point or win a match, that's huge. And then maybe you're starting the next game. So there's hundreds of World Cup stories where the player of the tournament starts on the bench, or someone who's so significant for their country's campaign that starts on the bench, that it's there for everyone to see. So you go there as one of the 26 and you say, whether I'm starting or I get 1 minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes off the bench, I am going to be impactful when I get there. And Nico Segura, as we know, is one of the most driven and focused and dedicated young professionals in the game, and he is going to be eyes lasered on getting on that pitch and making an impact when he gets there.
And he can also be on the right side of the defence. He can play in the central midfield if he needs to. So he's got that versatility of being able to get into a couple of different game scenarios as well.
Right midfield.
Yeah.
Think about Canada winning 1-0. Tejon's tired. You're putting him on if you're winning against...
If you're in the 80th minute winning 1-0 against Italy, Sigo's
he's
coming on somewhere.
Like 70th minute even. Because he can...
5th minute.
Six at the back, part of the bus. Yeah, no, he's going to play minutes. Jesse Marsh, we've said it all along, he wants to get this lad in the team. He's going to play minutes somewhere.
Are you not worried at all right now about the defence? And I hate talking about defending because it's so boring.
It's not boring.
The game's about attackers.
It's not.
The game's about scoring goals.
It's not.
But the back line has not played together. The Jesse Marsh's preferred back line has not played together for a long time and will not play together probably even in March. Probably talking about June. And we don't know when Moise Bombito is back. Alistair Johnston says he's doing OK, but we're still waiting. Cornelius was end of January, still waiting.
Alfie Jones longer term.
Alfie Jones is out as well. Should we be worried about that?
De Fugero coming off the bench for Dender in the last little bit, and they're having a really poor season, not winning a lot of games. We should be worried.
It's not really a storyline that we talk a lot about, because almost because I think we know that if everybody's fit, what it's probably going to look like.
It's a good back four, yeah.
But the chances of that week by week surely get smaller.
Yeah, where am I concerned? I am concerned about the lack of word coming out of France on Bombito. I thought we'd have heard more positive stuff around his progress from his terrible injury. It's quiet, and that to me signals that maybe it's not going as smoothly as it should be. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope we get something positive. And he is such a vital player in the success of Canada's World Cup hopes. and in that back line.
So last week we talked about with Stephen Eustaquio, if he's not there playing at that level, then we reassess how Canada can do in that group and where they can get. Would you go as far as to say Bombito's the same? Or is he not as crucial to how well they can do?
More than Eustachio.
It's more important that Bombito plays than Eustachio?
Yeah. Because, and I'll say this, Steph is vitally important, but Saliba's playing really well. Segur can go in there. Coney's playing excellent, as we talked about. There is options. Schwanier does a job for Canada. He's got loads of energy. There's options that can replace Eustachio. What is your option to replace Moise Bombito? It's really concerning. It's really bleak. It's a young lad who's playing limited minutes in Belgium for a poor team. Or it's Alfie Jones who's got a longer-term injury. Supposedly he's not going to make the March camp. Then it's Kamal Miller, and you're talking about two lefties if Cornelius is fit. It's Joe Waterman, who is a great fella and a terrific leader, but is he good enough to kind of lead your defence through 3 World Cup group games? I don't know. It's a big issue. Bombito needs to be fit. I would say...
They've got results without him while he's been injured.
They have, but this is another level of results. And this needs someone with the stature and the confidence of Bombito to sort of have others look towards and say, this guy's got us. He can gather people in and say, I'm going to galvanise this back line. We're going to win games. It's all going to be fine. He has that presence about him, even in his young football boots. He is a guy that makes other people play better. And that is a player that the back line's lacking. And I would go as far to say that it's touch and go between him and David about the most important player in the team, because goals are absolutely essential, but defensive solidity is as important, almost as important.
Yeah. I mean, that's the centre of defence.
Yeah.
You've then got question marks on Alistair Johnston.
Yeah.
Should be fit, but you never really know. You never really know.
Yeah.
And on the other side...
He's coming along well, though. I spoke to him. Well, you know Ali. I spoke to him and he's doing great, doing great. This is coming, you know. The positivity's through the roof, as it always is. That's what you love about him. But he is progressing well, but there is that replacement.
On the
Richie, we've not seen this season,
but you also
there is
don't
Davies
know.
to drop
you
back.
also don't know if it's going to be Richie.
Right.
So if
there's options, you know.
I know you do race for the roster and you've got these players locked in, but really, we at this point have no idea who will be the starting back four for Canada.
We've never had any idea. That's why I've been telling you it's a ridiculous segment all along. It's impossible to call, but we make decisions based on performance, and so at this point, you know, I've said that's where I think the back line will be, but there is a lot of question marks. And Richie Larin, like, he's had a break. He was flying before the break, but breaks affect you. And the last 2 seasons, as he started the season, he's got long-term hamstring injuries. So what has he done in the break to prevent that from happening? Has he done enough to make sure that he is flying into that first game for TFC? I sincerely hope so, because I think he's vital to the success of the team. But there's these question marks, particularly along the back line, that we won't know answers for until, I would say, end of February through March.
Could even be later than that.
Could be later than that.
I mean...
Yeah, but we'll start to have an idea, right? If a guy's not back by the end of March and he's still injured, to think that he can come back, start training for a couple of weeks, play a game or two, play up to the level and the speed that's needed to be at your 100% your best, you start to go, there is a serious doubt that we can trust that guy on June 12th.
If Bombito isn't fit, does it change your left back? Does it make any difference whether it's Larea or Davies at left back, depending who's available in the middle? Or is that a completely separate decision?
I'm going to throw something out there. If the injury and the situation in the centre back is as bad as it's been...
You're not going to say play Larea in the middle?
I am. I would think that Jesse Marsh will consider playing Richie Larin at centre-back. Right centre-back.
No.
I'm telling you.
I know he played there last year.
Played it great.
And he did well.
He's played
and in
so
fact,
well.
Robin Fraser said he reminds him a bit of Moise Bombito.
Yeah, that was
high
praise.
That's a big difference.
I would say the only thing
That's a World Cup game against Italy.
Yeah, but the one thing that I think will put real doubt in Jesse Marsh's mind at doing that is if it's a tall striker that he's up against. Because that's the one thing that I think at that elite
What
level.
What is he, 5'9"?
Yeah, 5'9", maybe 5'10" at a push. But he's athletic. He can jump, Richie, as we know.
Yeah.
He's not a slouch when it comes to aerial play. But if you're at that elite level and you're just putting the ball over your shoulder like that, it's very hard as a centre-back to win aerial duels.
He wouldn't want to do that, would he? I know as a
You wanna
player, you want
play.
to play. I know, but...
You want to play.
But,
What if Ali Ahmed's got 12 goal contributions?
well, you just said he won't.
Let's say he has. This is what's so intriguing about this. And you're starting to say Ali Ahmed needs to play. And Alfonso's flying at left back for Bayern Munich. He's playing 90 minutes all the time. He's playing his preferred or his more natural position through the club side. And there's a way of saying, right, we put the athleticism of Richie Larin in the centre because there's doubts about De Fugero, there's doubts about Alfie Jones, fitness or otherwise, and we can kind of juggle around. Bombito's injured, unfortunately. There's a way of still having this athleticism in the team that Jesse Marsch needs, and there's a way that we can still play that pressing game that he wants to play. Because to play that pressing game, never mind the guys that need to press at the front.
Yeah.
The guys at the back need to cover 60 yards of space.
Yeah.
Do you know how scary that is when you're slow? I've done it. And I was slow, I promise you. That is scary. So you need guys that can handle that can run in behind, that can squeeze up to support the front men who are pressing if you want to play that game.
So the president of the Luke de Fugero fan club would put Larin in there ahead of Luke de Fugero?
If Luke de Fugero's season keeps going the way that it is, in terms of, like, he's not starting games in Belgium.
Yeah.
And that's why I never liked to move. I was clear.
Yeah.
He should have stayed in
You
England.
were right.
I'm not saying I was right.
You were right.
I'm not saying I was right. There's still a lot of season to be played. But I think he would have been better staying in England. Not to say it would have went better or he'd have been playing every week. But I just think that the grittiness and the sort of the competition in England would have been better for De Fugero's and would have answered more questions for us and, most importantly, for Jesse Marsch and his staff than Belgium's answered.
So despite the fact that you have 8 of the 11 locked in on Race for the Roster...
saying none of them are locked.
There are actually... no, but there are still...
Next week, I'm going to release every one of them. None of them are getting locked.
There are still a lot of questions
There is.
Jesse Marsch has to answer, and they might not even become clear in the March window.
No.
I think we're still going to be talking about this after the March window through April.
Yeah. I think the issue for Canada is we've got better strength and depth, but there's no real strength and depth. And people will get hurt. People will pick up, hopefully, silly little knocks, if anything, but people will pick up injuries, and then we'll be panicking because we'll be saying, well, Canada needs Jonathan David, or they need Tejon Buchanan, or Moise Bombito, or whatever it is. And there'll be a massive panic because we know that there's not that great strength and depth. Whereas if Cole Palmer breaks his foot, touch wood he doesn't, on April the 16th, England will go, what a shame, we'll lose Cole Palmer. Oh, but guess what? We've got Morgan Rogers and Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden. And there's a whole host of players. Germany's the same, and France the same, Spain, Argentina. But Canada just don't have that quality out with, I would say, about 15, 16 players.
I just hope that if Canada, say everything goes well, they get a goal, win a game at the World Cup, Jesse Marsch goes celebrating, running down the touchline, he doesn't end up in trouble like David Moyes did.
Oh, my God.
Did you see that? David Moyes...
He was fuming, wasn't he?
He was fuming. He got a yellow card.
Yeah.
Because...
Which put him to the stands
He
this
left
weekend.
his technical area.
Yeah.
But it was a last-minute goal.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on with the game? You're a rule
The rules of the game, the rules of the game.
This brings us right back to the start. We talk about you being a rule follower. Surely he should have been allowed to celebrate a last-minute goal. It had a bit of the old... most people won't have any idea what I'm talking about, but there was his little jump
Mourinho.
thing he was doing. I was going to say the David Pleat when he ran the pitch and the little hop and the skip.
Was that Coventry?
He was with Luton.
Oh, Luton.
The FA Cup.
Yeah, I know, I could see it, but I thought it was when he was Coventry.
I don't think David Moyes would do the knee slide.
No, he said he thought about it in his post-match interview. He was brilliant. He was brilliant talking about it. I mean, I've always had a great admiration for David Moyes, and I'm fortunate enough that I know him a little bit personally, and he's such a great guy. His personality's huge, Luke. I know we don't often see it in his interviews.
You don't, do you?
You don't.
No.
But this was one interview where we saw his full personality, his humour, his self-deprecation. He was tremendous, and he was just saying, and I got to say, and that's a question I'm going to throw back at you. We're talking about technology and rules, and that's how we started the show, and that's how we're going to end it. But it'd be taking away too much joy for the game.
Yeah.
So,
from those positions.
Right. So why are we booking guys for taking their shirts off? When Haaland scores that penalty kick, the pressure that was on it, missed his last penalty against Liverpool at Etihad, Szoboszlai's in his face.
I understand that a little bit more.
Why?
Because,
Why?
Because it's
Why does it
about,
matter taking the shirt off?
Because FIFA is wanting to protect messages underneath the jersey.
But if you've not got a message, why does it matter then?
Well,
so the message should get a booking, not the shirt coming off.
No,
if you don't want to see any messages, that's fine.
Yeah.
I agree with that. We don't want politics brought into football and then one side believes this, and I don't want to see that. But why is taking your shirt off considered a bookable offence? Why is a manager,
to be fair, if
after
done
a
that,
goal...
no one would have wanted to see it either.
Why is a manager... Yeah, exactly.
Running down the touchline with your jersey.
I would never have done it. Why is a manager leaving his technical area considered a booking? Why are these...
Because that's the rule.
But why are these ridiculous, pedantic, boring, I don't know, unfun-loving, don't know if that's even a statement or a word. Why are these things in the game? Why don't we allow the joyful things to be expressed and then we can keep the rules to the serious stuff like, was that ball out, was that ball in? Is this a goal-scoring opportunity? Should it be a red card? Is this a penalty? Do we need to go to a booth to help decide it? Let's get some joy back in this game because we're losing fans. Football
Do you think they really are?
We are. People are switching off. It's usually people that are older.
This will be the most watched World Cup ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the game's not in it. I don't think the game's in as bad a state as some people.
I don't think it's in terrible state, and it'll always keep moving forward. People will keep loving football, but people are switching their tellies off because they're sick of stuff. They're sick of diving. They're sick of bookings for this and VAR. They're sick of delays. Like we gotta keep the essence of what makes football amazing in the game, and I think we're just losing that a little bit. Let's stop booking managers for celebrating their players, and let's stop booking players for taking their shirts off. Stupid.
There you go. When you're the FIFA president,
one day
you can make these
political
changes.
Enough for that, to make it there.
I think you make a great FIFA president. I'm not sure what the game would look like by the time you'd finished.
Worse than Infantino.
Well, you would enjoy the FIFA. I mean, you wouldn't.
Oh, the conference, brilliant.
Yeah, but not like you'd enjoy the hotels and
you're kidding. Amazing.
Yeah.
Superb. Got a few mates that are FIFA ambassadors.
Yeah.
Hear the stories. That'd be amazing. Get me in the running, Luke.
Well, that wraps up this week's Park the Bus. Next week, hopefully Kev will be back.
He might still be sick. We can't say for sure.
We cannot say for sure. Maybe you'll be off being a FIFA legend somewhere.
No, I doubt it.
I'm around the world.
I'm still here. My 12 Scotland caps is not going to get me that FIFA legend status, unfortunately.
But you might not get FIFA legend status, but you are very soon going to be Canadian. I heard that.
Yes.
You passed the test.
Passed my citizenship test. 18 out of 20. I'm really disappointed that I missed it in a couple. I don't know what they were. Right. Because I studied very hard for that test, and I'm ready to answer any questions.
When was the last time that you had done a test and studied for a test?
Probably my...
Must have been at school.
No, like my driving test, maybe.
Right, so...
Just when I left school.
What?
Yeah, the
How many
theory
years?
test. Yeah, like... Oh, my gosh. 30 years nearly. 27 years or something.
So I have a hard time thinking about you studying, like looking through, like,
I had a booklet, a thick booklet called Discover Canada.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Right, and I had that, and I was on a plane to Vancouver, so I had 5 hours, and I wanted to watch the latest movie in my seat, but I decided I was going to read the entire Discover Canada booklet, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you discover Canada?
I did. I learned a lot.
Good.
I go through it, I read everything, I get to the end, I get to the little mock questionnaire, and I get about 5 of them wrong in the first 10. I'm like, I got to start reading again. I went back, read a little bit through. I passed my test. I'm getting closer.
There we go.
I want to be Canadian for this first game at BMO.
Yeah.
On June 12th.
Yeah.
At Toronto Stadium. Sorry.
Let's hope that happens. You and Alfie Jones. You can both get your...
We can make it happen. I need to speak to Canada Soccer. They can make it happen quick or not so quick.
Let's see. Anyway, we'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Park the Bus. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.